All right, guys. How's it going? It's been a little bit of time since I've put a video together, and things have just been real busy, and I haven't even spent much time at the shop. That's how shitty things are right now. But the matter at hand is my 2011 F150. Um, I just uh, I just got it back, and I'm just kind of let you know what was happening with it. I had a knock. It sounded like a lifter tick, but after the dealer got a hold of it and they checked it out, they said it's a bottom end knock. But I mean, I'll play the video of the actual sound that it makes. But basically, I bought the truck new in 2011 from Ford, from AutoNation Ford. It had like 6 miles on it when I picked it up. It's a 2011 F150 XLT 4x4. It's got the 5.0, the 6-speed automatic. Like it was a decent truck. And uh, around 40,000 miles, I started to hear it would come and go, would never be constant. And then finally, I was reaching the end of my 5 year, 100,000 mile warranty. I had 72,596 miles. I don't know if y'all can see that. 72,596 miles of my 100,000 5 year warranty. I had 6 days left on my 5 year warranty, so that was about to expire. And basically, I took it in, and first thing they told me is, first they told me is that I'm going to be responsible for the diagnosis, which was like 119 or something like that. And I'm like, there's definitely something wrong. I can hear it. So I'll play that for you so you can see what I'm talking about. And so basically, they confirmed that the noise isn't normal. And then they proceeded to tell me that they have to find the problem. And to find the problem, they have to tear it down. But the only problem was, since the truck was new, I serviced the truck myself. Every 5,000 miles, I did Ford Motorcraft synthetic oil change, Ford Motorcraft filter. It never missed an oil change. I did every single one, and they gave me this warning that if they see any signs of neglect, if the motor shows that it wasn't kept up to date, then the teardown or the repair is going to be on me, and not Ford's not going to cover it. So basically, I have no records that the truck was ever serviced. I didn't keep any receipts. I bought the oil myself at AutoZone, O'Reilly's, wherever the hell it was. I used Ford motor oil. I bought the Motorcraft oil, and I changed my filters. I did it all myself. And I was confident that the motor's clean because I changed it every 5,000 miles. The truck didn't get a whole lot of abuse. It just, daily truck. And so I told them, go ahead. I gave them the okay to do it, and they did. And he said that the only thing Ford asked for was they wanted a couple of samples of gasket material, and they wanted some samples of the actual oil that was in the truck when I brought it in. So they never actually asked for proof of service. Now, also too, the service writer who was helping me, he was very helpful. Like he did his best, and he said that it's not really something that he needs to mention to Ford that I did all my own services. But usually, if the condition of the motor comes to question, then Ford will ask for the service records. So I don't know if some dealers might be assholes and say, and tell Ford, say, well, we have no service records on this truck. So, then I guess Ford would want to see records. I don't know. But in my case, they didn't ask for records. The motor was clean after they tore it apart. The tech that took the motor apart, he said the block looked really good. It was really clean. So that wasn't an issue. And it took nearly a month, but Ford finally approved a short block to put in the truck. I tried to get them to go with a long block, but he said that the pricing difference was too much, and they said that they couldn't find any issue with the cylinder heads. So I just got basically a new short block, and everything that comes in with the short block. But they reused my heads, they reused my manifolds, they reused my timing cover. I got a new timing chain set. Basically, yeah, short block, crankshaft, bearings, pistons, rods, rings, all that's what Ford replaced. And I mean, as you see, there's pretty much all the gaskets and everything that was you see down there at the bottom, assembly, short block replacement, and no charge, all under warranty. Is that backwards? I mean, yeah, that's backwards. That's weird. That is weird. But yeah, basically, well, it did cost me $107 because I had a $100 deductible, and then I had a $7 because they needed to redo my inspection for me. So there's that. But also, on top of that, which I'll explain in the video, there was when I got the truck back, there were a whole bunch of issues, things that they left out, things that they didn't bolt up. There were just small things, and there was an exhaust leak. And so when I brought it back, they had it for about another week, and they fixed all that stuff. But they claimed that the water pump had a leak, which it didn't. At least it didn't in the past, and it didn't the week that I had it. But basically, they sold me on a water pump. And but luckily, I mean, the water pump itself was like over $100, and labor and the coolant and all that shit. So they covered it under my warranty, even though my truck is already out of warranty. So I looked at it like I'm getting a new water pump for the price of the water pump. They're installing it. It's a Ford OEM pump. My old pump had 72,000 miles on it, even though I know for sure it wasn't leaking. It's like, what the hell? So I paid another $100 deductible for that. So I'm not complaining too much, but I mean, it is an easy job. I could have done it easily. So, but yeah, that's going to catch you up on everything that's gone on with the truck. I do have the truck back. It is running great. Still has couple little things that I'm not happy with, but I'm going to fix myself. I'm not taking it back anymore. Like, it's out of warranty. I feel like I did all right. I got a short block out of the deal. So, I'll fix the AC myself. I mean, it's still cool. It's just not that great. And, not a big deal. But yeah, so here's the video. Enjoy.
Yeah.
And stuff, so they haven't asked me for anything else.
I hope they don't. Because I just want my truck back. Holy cow. No damage to the heads.
Oh, you didn't have any loss of compression or something?
Yeah, that's what sounded. It was just a little bit of noise.
Yeah,
But it ran fine.
Just a good little knock.
Yeah, it never.
They'll just say in the truck.
Right.
There's little marks.
Okay, I can see it better now.
There's little marks like that kind of around a couple different cylinders.
Yeah.
That's the worst one.
Wow. And that's like maybe like oil starvation. A little bit.
It's possible. There's these little sprayers. You see that little tube?
Yeah, the oil squirters.
Yeah, that squirts oil, and maybe it got clogged up a little bit or something. They're so tiny.
Yeah.
Alright guys, so my F-150's home from the dealer. They've had it about 2 months, a little more.
little more than 2 months. Finally got it back. They ended up putting a short block in it, and I've had it for about 2 weeks, and I've seen some issues that first I was like, not really gonna make a big deal about it, I'll figure it out myself. But basically their finish work, the wiring is a big tangled mess. They didn't put anything really back where it belongs and everything, but I'm missing this cap now, and my AC doesn't cool nearly as good as it used to. I don't know, maybe I just got used to the F350's AC, not sure. And just some small things, like I guess when they took this off, they kind of tore it up, and then they put these cheap plugs back in. And one thing I was kind of upset about, yes, like this is all torn up now. Wasn't like that before, but not really a big deal. It's just little things. But my harness wire for the my light bar, I run up here, and then back behind here I have the relay. I don't know if you can see that, but I got the relay harness and all that, and it has plugs that there's 3 plugs for the ground, the power, and the signal. And instead of unplugging them when they pulled, I guess they had to disconnect it to get this radiator support off. They just cut through it, not even 3 inches away from the actual plugs. So they could have just unplugged it, but they decided to cut through it. It's pretty fucked up, but not really making a big deal about it. I was like, that's fine, I can rewire that, and I did. And there were some other issues, like see here, that didn't make it back to where it belongs. The wire harness looks a little bit twisted up. I don't know, like, see, nothing's where, like, I don't know how they managed to get it on like that, but that's not how it goes. And I was not really gonna make a big deal. I was like, yeah, I'll probably just, you know, pull it off and untwist it up and get it back on the way it belongs. You can see the block there, just right here. You can see it. You can tell it's new compared to, you know, they used my old timing cover, they used my heads, all the other components. It looks like they put a new AC compressor belt. That one's newer than the water pump belt, so that's cool. I did see some spots in my parking spot at work. Not sure if that's from my truck. I'm about to look right now. I'm going to slide under there and see what I can see. But here's something that I noticed that I'm not sure about. That connector right there with the white, it's pretty clean, and it's zip tied to the side, and that's a new zip tie. I don't know where that went. I don't know what that was supposed to connect to, but I don't think it's spent the last 5 years like that. So I think that was plugged into something, and either they lapsed in where it's supposed to go, or I don't know, maybe it had a cover over it. I'm not sure. Something I'm gonna have to bring up to them, because that doesn't look like that's supposed to be like that. And I looked around, I couldn't really find anything that would have plugged into, so I have no idea. But like, same here, you know, their finish is not very good. I mean, it wasn't like that before. I wish I would have got a better coverage of the car, of the truck, before I let them have it. Oh, this is kind of a annoying thing. When I came to check on the truck, when it was ready, I wasn't able to take it home. I had to drop my brother off to take it, but the coolant reservoir was low, and I told him, well, because they were doing a state inspection on it, I said, hey, do you think you know, coolant's a little low, can they top that off before they you know, send it out? And he's like, oh yeah, no problem. Well, they didn't do it. It's still low. And what else? Oh yeah, before we start the truck up, let's have a look underneath and see if we have any leaks, because like I said, I saw some spots, but I wasn't sure if they were already there or if I'm leaking something. And I don't see any spots. I don't see any spots on the ground right now. It's been sitting all night. I got home about 9 o'clock last night, and it's about 11 right now. Yeah, I don't see any leaks. I think maybe those spots were already there. Yeah, everything looks okay. Oh, that's not okay. Got a ground just hanging out. That's Ford work right there, buddy. And we got another. Didn't quite make it. The harness didn't quite make it over. Oh, we got something right here. Something definitely. This might have been from draining the transmission cooler when they disconnected everything. So that's probably okay, but that's not the biggest issue though. Biggest issue is I believe I may have an exhaust leak, and that's what I wanted to see. But it's these dual overhead cam motors are so freaking big I can't see the manifolds that well. Try to fish the camera down there. You guys see any soots? No, I don't know. This side's a little harder to see.
Dad,
Can't tell.
check out my growing lobster. Look how
Well, let's
big it is.
fire it up. Oh wow, it did get bigger. Cool. Okay, hang on, baby.
You too?
I'm gonna start this thing up, see if we could hear the exhaust leak. Yep, definitely. Definitely has an exhaust leak. Definitely on this side. Just leaking exhaust. So yeah, I'm gonna take it back to the dealer. Okay guys, it has been about a month since I took it back. That Saturday I took it back because it had that exhaust leak and a couple other issues, and so I took it back, and they had it for about a week. They said it was the exhaust coupler at the bottom, you know, where the bolts up to the downpipe, I guess you want to call it downpipe. I guess they said that's what was it wasn't positioned right, so it was leaking. You know, it wasn't a big deal, but they I mentioned that the coolant was low, and I mentioned that you know, I had asked them to top it off. I had the thing for a week, 2 weeks, and it wasn't leaking anywhere. I mean, we got under it, we saw there was no coolant leak or anything, but they had the truck and they said they pressure tested it, and it had a leak in the water pump, and I'm just like, no, it didn't have a leak. It was just low because y'all never topped it off. And so, ooh, it's hot. It is very hot today. So that they tell me it needs a water pump, and you know, I do a quick research, and aftermarket water pumps are like $105, $110, and I'm like, no, that's bullshit. You know, it doesn't have a water pump leak. But then he tells me, he says, even though you're out of your warranty, because my warranty's already expired now. You know, they covered the block, and after that, anything else goes wrong, pretty much it's on to me. And I knew my water pump wasn't leaking because, you know, we got under it. We saw there was no leaks coming from anywhere, so they're full of shit. And I think the tech is just trying to trump up a charge, you know, so at least the time he wasted with the exhaust manifold, at least he could get another quick job out of it. Because, you know, the water pump is stupid easy. It's just right down here. You know, there's the pulley, and you see I did allow them to change the water pump because service writer said that they were willing to cover it under my warranty for $100 deductible. And I got to thinking, I'm like, okay, so my truck's got 73,000 miles. It's a 5-year-old water pump, you know, all those mileage. I thought about it and I was just like, well, you know, $100 is basically what the part would cost me if it does turn out to leak later on down the road. And so for $100, I got an OEM water pump. They installed it. You know, they had to drain the system again and top it off. And it's funny too, because when I picked it up the second time and I checked it over and I explained, and you can see they didn't do anything about the wiring harness. They're like, hey, it works. They don't care. And I'm just like, I guess. You know, they put a new cap on there. Big deal. Oh, and that's another thing. The AC is definitely not cooling as well as it used to. It's definitely warmer. I've noticed. I mean, it's hot, yeah, but I've never ever really had to crank the thing up to to the maximum, to the number 4 setting. I guess that's what it is. Number 4, full blast at night, and I could feel the AC is not cold like it used to be. I mean, it still blows cold, but I could tell that whenever I come to a stop and I'm sitting idle, I could tell that it seems like it's getting warmer. The Freon's getting warmer. So I'm assuming either they didn't fill it properly when they put it, because they had pulled the AC condenser when they had did the motor. So they drained the system and they refilled it, and either it's leaking somewhere, because it seems like it's a little worse than it was 2 weeks ago or a month ago, or maybe I know those places they don't vent these AC, the Freon, the old Freon, they don't vent it out. I think what they usually do is what I've heard, they use a evacuation system that pulls it back into one of their tanks. That they have like a little fancy AC thing. I might be wrong, but this is what I've seen. And so they're mixing old Freon with new Freon, and they're saying, oh, it's good because, you know, we're mixing it with new stuff, so it comes out good. But I don't think that's the case. I mean, I think you keep mixing old shit into a same container, eventually all you got is a bunch of old shit. I mean, that's the way I see it. But I might just try, I have an evacuator, and I have AC gauges and everything, so I might just try evacuating the system myself and then refilling it with new stuff and see if that helps. But hopefully I don't have any leaks. I mean, I don't have a sniffer. I should probably get one so I could at least check everything and make sure it's not leaking anywhere. But yeah, I mean, overall, I went in for, you know, they gave me a short block. That part is fine. Truck runs great. It's got, you know, it's got all its power, no ticking, no noise. It drives good. It feels like a good truck. I'm happy with that. You know, it's just these little things that bug me, you know, and that's bullshit. You know, I wish they would have taken a little more pride in their work. Well, the particular guy that did the job, I wish he would have had more pride in his job. I mean, I'm sure he does things like this all the time, so he really didn't care. Just slap it together, get it out, bring the next one in, you know. But, oh, and by the way, I did not buy this battery. I would never buy a freaking Walmart battery. It's just my kid's mom was using the truck. I was out of town. Battery crapped out. She took it to Walmart. Hand to God, I would never buy this battery. And I'm kicking myself because I just traded my Mustang, which I had a Duralast Gold. This is the AutoZone battery. It was like $100 and something battery. And I didn't think about it when I traded it, and I could have swapped batteries, and it didn't dawn on me. So I got a shitty battery in here, and it barely gets the job done. But pizza's here, so this is the end of this. Hopefully this is the end of this, and we don't have to hear from it anymore. Hopefully I get another, you know, 70,000 miles out of this. But hope this helps you guys. Anybody having the same issue, you know, I hope you deal with it later.